The solstice happens in June and in December. And the solstice is symbolic of balance, which is also the theme for this month. The northern hemisphere is experiencing summer, and the southern hemisphere is having their winter. There is a collective cosmic symmetry occurring during the solstice activations. Hello and welcome. I'm Sara Bachmeier with Egyptian Numerology. I'm the author of Egyptian Numerology Emergence into the Fifth Dimension and The Path of a Wounded Healer. Liberation is for the asking. I have had a mentorship program for several years now using Egyptian numerology as a guide towards helping people with their personal ascension and mapping out a plan of action to facilitate their spiritual growth and their life purpose. The solstice is a time when the energetic grid of the planet or the ley lines of the earth all align at the exact same frequency, creating waves of harmony, peace, and healing throughout the planet. These harmonious frequencies linger for a few days, helping us to access higher dimensions and attain a higher consciousness. An easy way to tap into this energy is to spend time in nature. The solstice has long been considered a magical and mystical time because the veil between worlds is said to be thin, and it becomes easier to connect with the healing energies of our planet. It's also a time where we can feel our intrinsic and deep connection to Mother Earth and all that inhabit it. Those who are experiencing summer at this time are being influenced by solar energy absorbed from our skin and into our bloodstream, pulsing light waves into our consciousness. The radiance of the sun is creating a vortex for self-expression. It delivers active energy, and intuitively, we are encouraged at this time to manifest our goals, ideas, and our dreams. Those who are experiencing winter are getting ready for hibernation, darkness, cold, and entering into the dream time. This is where the real inner work takes place. We become dormant, we rest, and connect with Christ consciousness. You are illuminated by the moon cycles and are holding space in the feminine corridors of the soul. In the summertime, the sun is our masculine nature and our light companion. And the sun is represented in our solar plexus, which is our third chakra. The other half of the world is using the moon as their light source, and this is expressed in our sacral center, the second chakra. I bring this up because simultaneously we are connected and supporting each other, and oftentimes without awareness. There is a synergistic communion taking place while those who are experiencing summer are expressing themselves with the activations of the sun, and those who are experiencing winter are holding space in the quiet solitude of the moon. On June 20th, spare a moment of your time and go into silence for those who are holding space on the opposite side of the world as we continuously revolve and expand our spiritual growth. Those who are experiencing winter are in the dream time, and this is a place where growth occurs in darkness. When we experience summer, we have awoken from the dream time, and just like nature, we are blooming, expressing, and active. We are moving through very important changes in ways of being in the world, doing, thinking, living, and relating. I am sure that many of you are already feeling and seeing this occurring in your life. In Egyptian numerology, this is an important landmark for the cycles of our life path and our life purpose. The solstice can trigger a rebirth, an awakening, or even highlight a recent dark night of the soul. Those of you who are holding the numbers of a wounded healer in your birth chart, and especially those with master numbers, will be able to use this energy for your advantage. The radiant cosmic frequencies flowing onto our planet are currently pulling everything low vibrational out of our systems and removing anything that does not serve our highest good. And this must take place so that we shift to higher ways of being through consciousness and attract higher connections based on absolute love, peace, and truth. However, right before we make the shift to a higher frequency, the universe delivers a tower moment in our lives. And this may come in the form of a divorce, a death, a loss of money, jobs, and basically anything we're overly attached to. It destroys everything built on a false foundation and anything that is not a vibrational match to where we are headed. So if you are experiencing a crumbling effect in your life right now, hold on tight and have complete faith and trust in the universe that it is divinely orchestrated and happening for your highest and your greatest good, even if you don't see it that way at the moment. Anything leaving your life right now must be released lovingly, and this means refraining from blaming or faulting anyone. I know it's hard to do, but we're coming into a time where we need to take complete responsibility and accountability for our energy. We are all playing the role of actors on the stage of life. Everything is in divine order, predestined, and predetermined. Nothing is accidental or a coincidence. At this moment, you are exactly where you're supposed to be and experiencing exactly what you're supposed to experience. When painful outer circumstances arise, they trigger core wounds that are already present inside of us. And this occurs as an opportunity to heal those issues, ascend higher, and align our consciousness with our soul. But what usually occurs instead of healing ourselves, we often immediately become a victim and start blaming others. We reach for a shoulder to cry on, and we may talk to our friends, our relatives, and neighbors about our issues. And the problem with this is that whoever you go to for comfort is also operating from a lower state of consciousness, or you wouldn't be able to attract them. They may sympathize with you momentarily, but when your victimhood takes over completely, it ultimately becomes your current identity. You may turn to numbing your pain with going to parties or clubs, alcohol, materialism, and getting into 100 different ego and fear-based toxic relationships, thinking it will solve your issues and give you the distractions that put you in remission. I'm guilty of that in the past. Without healing the core wounds, you keep on attracting the same low vibrational souls, but they're inhabiting different bodies and keep on repeating these experiences over and over again until the lesson is learned associated with those experiences. And this may take multiple lifetimes to learn, but hopefully we can get it in this one lifetime since the energy is expanding quite rapidly. The harsh truth is that the day you become a victim, you have lost sight of the whole point of why you went through that painful experience in the first place. The other souls involved are just playing their role as laid out in their soul contract with you. They are just mirroring and triggering the wounds that you need to heal in this lifetime. For example, if you don't love yourself, you will always attract souls in your life that won't love you either. And the lack of self-love is what keeps you trapped in that low vibrational connection. The day that you start pouring love into yourself instead of seeking it from the outside, you have changed the game. At this point, your vibration and attractions change because you have learned this lesson. The universe will reward you with fulfilling and soul enriching connections. But it all begins with doing that inner work. So when shit happens, just shift your entire focus on what is being triggered inside of you. Are you feeling hurt, fearful, angry, jealous, or maybe have self-worth issues? Ask your higher self to show you where to place your attention. Once you have that answer, that is where your healing work begins. That's exactly what needs to shift for you to live a happy and fulfilling life. But healing is not a linear process, it is a spiral. One day you think you have fully overcome your obstacles, and the next day you experience those familiar low vibrational emotions again. Healing is a process. You are clearing thousands of years of low vibrational energy and false programming from your system. So you must go easy on yourself. Contrary to popular belief, suffering is God's grace. If you are going through a soul renewal at this time, reflect on the words of Osho. And he says, if there was no suffering, you never search for the truth. It is suffering, it is anguish, it is agony, and that finally compels you to seek and search for the path that goes beyond suffering and agony, and to find a way that reaches to blissfulness and to eternal joy. So suffering brings depth to our character and crystallized meaning to our life. It humbles us and is the only thing that can obliterate our ego and bring us back into alignment with our divine self. We must walk through the fire to purify ourselves of judgment towards ourselves and toward others. We must ascend to our higher self, that which is full of love, compassion, supreme peace, beauty, and truth. So don't push the pain away or try to numb it. Instead, come into it, feel the pain, and embrace it like an old friend, because the only way out is through it. Feeling constant pain and density can sometimes foster that illusion that it will last forever. But eventually, there comes a time when you enter into a state of supreme bliss and peace. Your whole being starts to radiate love, and not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. And this includes people, trees, animals, birds, fish, so on. But first, you must become alone. When you stop seeking outside forces of temporary fulfillment and become comfortable with being alone, you gain complete faith in where the universe is taking you and begin to accept whatever shows up on your path. When something gets triggered inside of us, we patiently examine ourselves and find a way to transmute it. But again, this is not a 1 year process. It may take multiple years to heal our wounds and align with our divine self. So express your pain and cry as much as you want. Write letters to yourself and then burn them. This is one of the best ways to heal the deep-seated emotions in your heart. But remember to refrain from bringing anyone else into your experience. Most people operate from the lower states of consciousness and may possibly never understand the process of soul rebirth unless they have experienced it themselves. The coping mechanisms that are good for them may only offer you a way to numb your pain or even to distract you, and this simply won't serve to help your transformation. Once you have healed and raised your vibration, there will come a time when being alone becomes satisfying and addictive. Soon, you will thank the universe for every experience that you went through. Everything, every person, and every experience serves a divine purpose in our lives. Lord Krishna said, whatever happened, happened for the good. Whatever is happening for the good. Whatever will happen for the good. You need not worry, just surrender yourself to the supreme power. I love that. Every soul is following their own divinely orchestrated path. While we may see it as good or bad from a duality point of view, we can never know how a soul is fulfilling its higher purpose. Learn to look at outer circumstances that come into your field without judgment. Neutralize the situation and view it as interesting rather than good or bad, because our egoic mind is too limited to understand the grand divine scheme of things. Let it go and surrender yourself completely to your higher power, and it will take care of everything in your life. Even though you may feel lonely at times, there are unlimited number of ascended masters, divine beings, both in physical and astral form, that are here on earth to facilitate the transition from 3D to 5D. The entire cosmos and many unseen divine beings are watching over you, holding you in their arms as you experience this process of death and rebirth. To transmute our lower self into our higher self is the very purpose of life. This is the path of the alchemist, the magician, the transmuter, the healer, and the enlightened being. I send you all lots of light, blessing, love, and strength during these solstice activations. May your divine feminine and masculine rise and shine. May this portal of light versus dark bring you closer to your original divine self. I hope this video was helpful and inspiring. Let me know by liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting below. To learn more about Egyptian numerology, please visit my website at www.egyptiannumerology.org, and even check out the links below in the description box. Have a blessed solstice celebration. Namaste.